radio program or website and reading a headline that year, month, season, day has broken the record for the hottest on record. Many are struggling to stay afloat as we process the steady stream of scary environmental news that tells us things are unraveling even faster than scientists expected. Some lose themselves in activism, while others keep their distance or close their eyes just enough to pretend that the reality we face isn't nearly as bad as it is. For some whole communities, who may be contending with the immediate practical threat of hurricanes, heat waves, floods, rising sea levels, drought, or raging wildfires, closing one's eyes isn't an option. Increasingly, even for those far away from hazard zones, neither is taking the time to examine one's emotional response. Over the last few years, especially but not exclusively in liberal circles, the term eco-anxiety has become all the rage. It describes a condition that robs sleep from those who, when all is dark and quiet, stir in thoughts of how uninhabitable the earth will soon become. Tools are cropping up to help people cope with eco and climate anxiety, grief, and a pervasive sense of powerlessness to halt nature's destruction. Self-care guides, climate-conscious therapists, and a cottage industry of coaches have emerged to help folks grapple with ecological uncertainty, find community support, and focus on the pro-environmental actions they can take. But acknowledging and reckoning with difficult emotions is still not the norm, and mental health resources are cost-prohibitive or simply unavailable for many people who need them. Too often, though, the conversation around eco-anxiety reveals its own amnesia. Only some of us are being forced to grapple with the threat of annihilation and the emotional weight this carries for the very first time. For so many people who've been marginalized, the oppressiveness of how bad things are is a tale as old as the hills. As a white, cisgendered, economically secure woman, I have the luxury of dreading the future in light of problems like climate change, while others already acutely fear the present and have long been suffering for how they were treated by dominant power systems in the past. Unfortunately, the climate crisis creates a double injustice here. As the most marginalized, those who had the least to do with creating this mess, predominantly poor people of color, are disproportionately harmed by a warming world. Eco-anxiety researcher Panu Pikala says that waking up to the climate and wider ecological crisis is particularly hard for middle-class citizens of industrialized nations because the world is revealed to be much more tragic and fragile than people thought it was. This profound disruption, which can be as severe as an internal shattering, sends them into a grief-stricken process of mourning the lost future they believed would come, a future of ecological stability. This then erodes their sense of security. As more and more people who've been living comfortable lives wake up feeling eco-anxious, that awareness comes with a risk. If we only turn inward to recognize this pain within ourselves, instead of looking outward, to glean a sense of implication in the far-reaching and unequal consequences of the climate crisis and our agency to improve the outcomes, little will change. Better futures will be entirely missed if we get stuck in fear and dread. For those who might roll their eyes at the groundswell of anxiety and grief that many privileged people are now expressing, I hear you. We're going to get this wrong if we depoliticize this pain, by not seeing its entanglement with centuries of environmental violence, racism, and domination. Without that context, we cannot be honest about who is the most vulnerable now and going forward, nor figure out how to best reduce harm. On the flip side, the tumultuous feelings that are on the rise are completely valid.